Shout out to Tavish Hill on the VG5 School Discord for actually putting this video out there. It's a 6-year-old video, and I just cannot stop watching Phil Spencer sound like he sounds today. He's had a very unifying vision of exactly what he perceives or wants Xbox to look like. This interaction here is about 17 minutes into the interview titled Phil Spencer and Working with Sony and Competing with Google Stadia. Fortune magazine did this interview. And this particular segment will literally knock your socks off, especially if you've just come out of, say, the YouTube Xbox is dead cycle. And it's the funny thing because you see all creator classes. I'm talking from Linus Tech Tips to Austin Evans to even the little guy like VG that just started yesterday jumping on this wagon when there's already history of how Xbox has wanted to conduct its business, knowing how the industry is and how it's been antithetical to what a lot of people perceived. I'll play this clip for you and I'll shut up. Listen.
Green team to succeed. That's not me. You know, there were people when the Sony deal that was announced, I could see it online of like, what are you doing helping them out? And it's like, I mean, we've got years and years of relationship with Sony. Sony shipped PCs that had Windows on it.
It's not a Sony PC.
They use our development tools to build games. Like it's not this idea that our focus is on that the only way for any of us to succeed again is by pulling down somewhere else. It isn't the way that the industry works today. It just isn't.
It isn't, but as a game.
This is in the face of the Sony Microsoft deal. And this interviewer, you could tell this guy is not happy with Xbox's direction at this time. This is probably around the time where Xbox is making moves that are apparent outside of the console, but had already been discussing it years previously. By the way, you got to watch this interview, the very first part of it, as well. So I'll just keep playing so you can hear the interviewer's question.
As a kid growing up playing these games with these two consoles, it does mean something. And
no, you see, this is what the unk of gaming mindset sees. I told you, the inner child within you guys that was marketed to. Thankfully, I skipped this marketing. It never affected me. This is why my kids, it doesn't matter where they're playing on. They're just gonna game on PC and just play the games they want to play. I don't want this brand nonsense to ever, catch them, because they will catch their own favorite brands. People do that. We gravitate towards things we like. But before then, it'll make sense if they just actually enjoy the hobby of gaming when it's time for them to play video games than worry about these things that we worried about when we were growing up. Well, some of you did. I didn't care.
That was a historical perception I've had. It was very, when I look at the picture, and I looked at it first, I was like, whoa, what is this? For me, it's shocking. As a consumer,
picture?
Satya and Sony, do you have a shaking of hands saying this, and that's a shocking image.
But we're one of the biggest publishers on PlayStation. We ship Minecraft there. We have a great business.
They've been a publisher on PlayStation for a long time. Look at what he's saying. He's just telling the guy, bro, get off the console war high horse, man. What?
On Sony PlayStation with Nintendo Switch, and the people there are trying to do the best job to deliver the right experience to their customers. I understand why it can be shocking. The
reason it's shocking, and I'm just going to say this, is because the previous leadership and the previous way of doing things from these consoles were to encourage people that, hey, our team is beating your team. Come and buy our product, right? Or your team sucks and it's losing. Come and buy, our product. So the flames, according to Peter Moore, do you all remember that interview with Peter Moore? Apparently, I didn't know who he was, but he was one of the old executives with Xbox. And he said, yeah, we fanned the flames of the console war. It was exciting. A lot of people bought into that stuff and can't let go of it. You see, let me just be honest with you. I never had the luxury of buying into a console war. Are y'all listening to me? I just never did. I never had, so when I'm looking at this stuff from outside, I gotta tell you, man, I cannot say my true feelings on YouTube. You guys really think I'm saying everything I'm thinking? No. I really cannot. Because if I say it, I'm going to anger you. Some of you think you're mad. Oh, no. Because I cannot really relate. Like, what the flip? It's a plastic box. That's about as much as I can say without getting into severe amounts of trouble. You got to understand, right? So, man, let me just keep playing this.
I can also understand the way that you view it. We have Minecraft, but then it's also like there's also just the public perception that's just been built up by years and years of marketing from the companies, years and years of the way that, like, as a kid, you go to this person's house, they got an Xbox.
He's right. Years and years of marketing. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying, yo, man.
I got a PlayStation, you know, and there's these.
So the question I'd ask you is, do you think that actually helps?
You know, when I knew marketing was insane, I go to college, right? All the while, this is the first time I come to this country. I come here as a university student. So I have nothing. I have no stake in the game, nothing. And I'm just, learning the culture. And TV is one way you can pick up cultural, pieces. And of all the things that kind of surprised me was how creative the insurance ads, the auto insurance ads are. And already I liked a lot of just the way they did things. And my favorite insurance company was basically, I picked them based on the ad. I didn't know what they offered. The moment I got my first car, when I was like, where am I going to get insurance? It wasn't even a thinking. I was like, bam, I'm going to go find an insurance agent that can get me this insurance policy under this company. The insurance ads are insane. Look at Allstate. Look at State Farm. Look at Geico. Look at Liberty. Yo, are you kidding me? That's how powerful marketing is. And I'm not even as young as a lot of the people who were playing on the Xbox and PlayStation those days that are now the pundits of today. So you imagine how deep rooted the influence of that marketing is. That's why they're fighting on Twitter. This is why people are fighting on Twitter. Even the ones that say, oh, I've actually abandoned the console war. Once in a while, I'll read things they say, and I'm like, are you sure? I'm not joking. I'm telling you. I'm just going to shut up and let him talk.
Grow gaming. And, if I think about any other form of entertainment, think about bands. Like, do I have to, man, I hope this band has a bad album so that my band, like, it's such it's the growth in gaming. How are we going to grow gaming? By reaching more players, making games as accessible as possible.
Let's flip it and say by competition. Do you think that greatness comes out of inherent competition?
The problem is people actually, they saw that as the competition. Because the gaming companies wanted you to perceive that as the competition, while every single one of them was literally eating from third-party games as a significant source of their revenues. If you were watching this interview when Phil at the beginning was talking about how they'd invested so much money in developers being able to stream their games, you'd be shocked.
Competition is for gamers' attention and obviously dollars. That is the real competition, is doing things that gamers love as a community. Like, what's the biggest hit in the last couple of years? You'd say Fortnite. Was Fortnite actually born out of any platform competition between two things? No. Like, yeah.
My dude. The biggest games. The games that are right now running the whole show, none of them, almost none of them, care about any platform-based whatever that's like hinged along this lock it behind your box. More people play Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch, according to IGN's gaming trends, than Mario Kart. Super Mario Kart Deluxe. Again.
Yes, the fact that there are multiple consoles and we all want to make sure we have a great experience. Yeah, but I I look at the iPad, I look at phones, I look at a ton of things to get innovative. I'll sit in a Tesla and just look what's going on there and say, okay, how does this impact the stuff that we're trying to do? It is really, though, the customer.
And Starfield eventually got played on those Teslas. This was 6 years ago, by the way.
Customer is the person you're competing for. And you're competing for their... So many of our hardcore Xbox fans have all of the consoles. So it's not even like one of the other consoles is going to go away. It's, can we put something on our platform that gamers love and they want to spend their time on? So the competition, I'd say it's more inspiration in looking at each other. Gaming is not going to get better if PlayStation's not a brand or Nintendo's not a brand of game. I fundamentally believe that gaming's a better place with known, trusted brands in place that customers love. If known brands that people love go away, it's going to undermine their confidence. It was a few holidays ago where there was DDoS attacking going on, and multiple of us were feeling it. And we got on calls together and said, hey, what are you seeing? And it's us, Sony, Valve, like all of us are talking about it because there's no world where, oh, this is the safe gaming network that's up and this one's not. To a general consumer, is playing games online something that you want, that works? And do you want to go do that? Is it safe and inclusive environment or is it not? And more as we're pushing for cross-play, as we look at things like the inclusivity and toxicity online, we see this as industry things. They're not things that we want to compete.
This is why Fortnite succeeded. This is why Roblox is succeeding. This is why Minecraft succeeded. And this is why community games are succeeding, and it's no longer on the platform side. It's the little pedantic, childish pieces of this conversation that still think that you are going to out-console the competition to your own benefit. I think that thinking is mistaken. In fact, I don't think it's mistaken. It's obvious that that thinking is mistaken, seeing as no longer is PlayStation holding MAUs as much as Fortnite or Roblox. Why? Because there is something that's inherently bigger than all of these things. And Xbox is actually trying to get into that whole thing. Xbox literally went ahead and bought MAUs. And now they want to basically, position themselves to look like these. If you still think that gaming is going to go back to the old ways, and even PlayStation themselves, if you still think that they're going to follow through, through with all that, well, we'll see. I got to go. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Check the video out. You've seen the title and you've seen the YouTube channel. Chase it down and listen to it. Peace out.